Now we're ready to stitch the square into starting on the right hand side, then we'll do the left hand side. But let's fold this over first and fold this way. Remember, we folded this to get it out of the way. And there's our two blue diamonds again, and we're just getting this out of the way. Here is my marking. My marking is in this corner, so we're going to flip this over and then match. Find the center here, and then you'll see where the other stitching was. It's hard to see in this fabric, but it's going to be right up against the fold, so we'll check it. And I need to move it over a little bit. So there it is, matched there. And then put your pin in and then match this edge over here. Be sure you have match this edge over here. Be sure the top edge and the side edge match up evenly, and we'll put a pin there. Now with this seam, the parts you care most about are getting it straight, getting it at this right point here. You care about the 1/4 inch all the way down, and then you care that these edges are matched. So what I do in this case, I start here as usual, do my securing stitches, and after I have a few stitches in and I'm about right here, maybe an inch down, then I check. I hold this bottom part with my fingers. I make sure I'm looking at it, I'm making sure it's matching up, and I just hold it in place to make sure that the rest of the part gets eased in, because this is one of the most important parts, but you don't want to stretch it. You don't want to ease it so much you're stretching it. Now I'll stitch this one and show you. Here is my seam I just stitched. We're going to check this corner here to make sure we'll have a nice point when we sew the blocks together. So if you open this up and you look at this point here, this should be straight. This is the outside of your block. This should be straight, and this distance from the point to the edge should be 1/4 inch. So we look, place our ruler on it, and it's pretty close to 1/4 inch. And later on I'll show you how to join these blocks together so you'll keep that point when you have the blocks joined together. Now here's what we just checked, like this. Now these two edges here we're going to sew together. Pick them up like this, match them, and then let the rest kind of fold over on itself. Just match the tops and pin if you need to. You can check to make sure that this edge is lined up. If we place our pin here on the marking and then turn it over, and it's not too close, so let me move it over some. Put my pin in the center and then match here and there. So now it matches, and then just put the pin in and then match this other side. And I'm going to put a pin here because this is important. Then you start the same way. You start here, secure, match your edges 1/4 inch and all the way down. So here's my seam I just sewed, and as you're stitching, make sure that the pressing goes in the right direction. This is pressed this way, so we need to make sure that pressing gets stitched in like this. And here is our corner now, the edge of our block. We want to check to make sure that's 1/4 inch. So let's open it up and check. This is straight along this edge, and then if we put our ruler down, we have a little bit more than 1/4 inch, but I'm happy with that. So we're going to press this straight seam here to the left, and these two seams will be pressed toward the diamond units. So now that it's pressed, we can check some more things to make sure it's looking right. We'll check where the Y seam meets the square, and we're happy with that. You come down here, you check where these two diamonds meet, and we're happy with that. And if you look down here, you have these 3 points, 3 seams coming together right at one point, and that's pretty good. Now what you'll do, stitch one more of these, then we'll come back and we'll stitch the last 2 Y seams, and I'll show you how to do the center.